Hello, I move it. Blah, 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 blah. I've not done this for a while. Hello.
Take two.
Outtakes. Oh dear.
Merry Christmas, Dennis Norden.
Yeah, good call.
Hello, it's Mobit here from GameDads.co.uk. Welcome to another Retrocast for the first one of 2012. It's been a while. A lot of people tweeting me saying where the hell's the podcast, where the hell's the vidcast. Well, here it is, basically. You're going to get a little bit of a vidcast even. Should we say a vidcast there, Steve? Yeah, I think we should. Bit of a vidcast on on YouTube. As you can probably see, I've got GD with me here. You can't quite see him. It'll be coming to pop up on the screen in a moment. And this will also be on iTunes in the usual audio podcast format. But what we're going to do basically now is we're going to do it 2 weekly. Okay, so I'll have a Retrocast 1 week, and then we'll be hopefully bringing back very soon the Dadcast. So that'll be the other week, and then a Retrocast and a Dadcast. So you know you've always got something to listen to. We may take a week off at the end of the month, so you've got 3 in a month kind of a thing. Just because, you know, we're dads, we've got things to do, but we know that there's a big crowd out there who wants to listen to it, so we'll do our best to bring some content to you. So yeah, here's the first one. We've got some very special guests from Retro GT and a couple of community members as well, so let's get on with it.
Hello flesh bags. Long time. No see. That's right. I am back. No matter how hard you try, you cannot keep a robot overlord down. Not ever. I am Red's Gamma, your robotic data collector. Each week I will be bringing you all the best news from the world of gaming and beaming it directly into your primitive monkey brains via the Gamer Dads network. So, without further ado, here are this week's top stories from the world of video games. Epic Games' Cliff Belsinski will be hosting this year's Game Developers' Choice Awards. The Gears of War developer will be taking over from Double Fine's Tim Schafer for the 12th annual GDCA, and even though Cliffy B doesn't have a game nominated at the awards ceremony, his ever-popular persona will taking center stage once again. Rockstar sister company Take-Two have announced that Max Payne 3 will be delayed a further 2 months and will be released in May instead. Xbox 360 and PS3 owners will receive their copies on the 15th of May in North America and the 18th of May in Europe. The reason for the delay is to ensure that Max Payne 3 delivers the highest quality, stated by CEO Strauss Zelnick. Call of Duty developers Treyarch may be already preparing themselves for the next generation of consoles. In October they posted a job position for a person with an interest in working with next-generation technologies. Publishers Activision had previously announced that they will support the and with Microsoft and Sony reportedly ready in new consoles, it could be an insight into how soon these companies will be announcing their new hardware. And finally, fans of Mass Effect will be delighted to hear that on February the 14th the demo for Mass Effect 3 will be available for download. It will enable players to play the opening sequence of the game, which is the Reaper's initial attack on Earth. Players will also be able to experience the co-op mode, the first for the series. The co-op mode also unlocks the multiplayer mode on the 14th for those who bought Battlefield 3 and other opportunities, but will be open to all on the 17th of February. Mass Effect 3 is out on the PC, Xbox 360 and PS3 in North America on the 6th of March, with a European release just 3 days later on the 9th. So that is it for another week. Thank you for taking part in this en masse information assimilation. Keep your squishy eyes pointed at gamerdads.co.uk for all the latest in the world of gaming. And until next time, I have been Red's Gamma and you have just been made wiser by the Gamer Dads Network. You are welcome.
We're back, and I'm here as always with the man himself, the myth, the legend, Steve White. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
And alongside, we've got GD's member, Kiss My Whip, otherwise known as Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Good evening, mate. You alright?
I'm all right, mate. Good to have you on.
Good to be on.
And if you enjoy it, maybe I can pull you into doing some more podcasts with me, because people are sick of hearing the sound of my voice all the time. So there you go.
Oh, there we go. Lovely. Yeah, not a problem.
And of course, our sponsors, either side of me, virtually. We've got from Retro GT, Lawrence and Gary. How are we doing, gents?
Hello.
Good evening. Very good, thank you.
Good. And they're not on just because they're our sponsors. They can talk more bollocks than I can. So that covers half.
Yeah.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, I think it is. Whoever talks more bollocks by the end of this gets a DLC code. There you go.
Definitely got work cut
viewers
out there, my lads.
Very true. Oh dear. So yeah, we're back. Hello. It's been a while. I guess me and Steve should explain ourselves as to what the hell happened to the podcast. Really. Basically, as you probably, if you haven't been on the site much in the last couple of months, where the hell have you been? Guess the game it has at Cody. Okay, you'll see it's all new and shiny.
Look at the shiny.
Look out for the shiny. Very good stuff on there now. Everything's all separated. We've got review sections, we've got media sections, which is where incidentally you can find this podcast if you don't have an iPod. And you'll also find this podcast on youtube.com/Retrocast UK with some added pretty pictures, because it's cheaper to put it on YouTube than it is to pay for the extra podcast. Frankly. And I'm a pipe bastard. So yeah, I don't think Retro GT are paying us enough yet, so we'll have to use YouTube for now. Hint.
I'm sure I offered you hosting at some point, possibly not for videos, but you know.
Yeah, that's it. Well, video hosting obviously costs quite a lot of money.
It's very expensive.
It does. It's quite pricey. So if anyone knows any good podcast hosts that don't charge through the nose for video hosting, then please do let me know at media@gamerdads.co.uk or moveit@gamerdads.co.uk. Right, Matt, since you're going to be hopefully on the show a lot, we'll start with you. Let's grill you.
Right, go for it.
Come on then, gaming history. We always start with this. What's your favourite games? What's your favourite systems? Let's go from there.
Right, the same as I said to my therapist, we'll go from the very beginning then.
Very fun place to start.
Well, I got two older brothers as well, and they sort of had consoles and everything, and a lot of mine were obviously hand-me-downs. So starting off with the Spectrum and the Amstrad, but there was only one game really that I played on either machine console. There was only one that I played on either machine really, and that was Chase HQ.
Oh,
Started off my love of it. That is absolutely dying for a remake.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing is you wouldn't want to see them mess it up really, like they did with Outrun. I mean, Outrun was a classic. They put it on XBLA for a while. It's been taken down now, I believe. They took it back down, and it's a mess. The new one compared to the old one, but then you can never remake the classics, you know. But
a lot of car games nowadays have cop chases.
You're waiting for a barrage of opinion there about remaking the classics.
Yeah.
Well, we can go on to that if we like.
Everyone's mysteriously silent there.
Here we go.
itself.
Barrel of Worms this is turning into now.
I'll tell you
Okay,
what.
I'll give you one good reason for remaking old games. Games like Street Fighter that you could only play against your friends or someone like that, you can now play against anyone in the world, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, sorry, go on.
Sorry, there's a lot to be said for standing next to somebody at the arcade, being intimidated by a kid much older than you, who's bigger than you, and for some reason is always better at Street Fighter than you, and probably has more pocket money to spend as well. It's a whole experience.
Yeah. No, I mean, the arcades, experience has gone now. I think
it has. Yeah.
We used to, like you say, I used to go in there and I used to see people pull off fatalities on Mortal Kombat, and it was like, oh, how did they do that? That was brilliant. And used to try and get in there and watch them, and you'd put your 10p on the machine saying, look, I'm playing you next, and all that sort of stuff. But that's all gone now.
Yeah.
I still like the idea of being able to play now anyone that I can on Street Fighter and things like that. Although I'll get my ass handed to me, but
I don't know. You beat the creators of OnLive, didn't you, at Eurogamer last year?
Yeah, well, I don't think he really knew what he was doing, but I'll take the victory.
What were you playing?
The
OnLive guys.
Super Street Fighter 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
I suppose the good thing
about
the
that,
online.
actually.
Sorry,
no, I was just saying I remember him doing that. Sorry.
Oh right, okay. I was going to say, I suppose the good thing about the online, arcade gaming is that you can be equally matched because the computer's sort of working out skill levels, which you don't get that luxury in Trocadero.
Yeah. Oh, Trocadero! I used to go there.
It's closed now, isn't it?
Yeah, Funland's gone.
Is it really?
Apparently, that's what I read.
No way.
Yeah.
I remember when it used to have
the
Sega.
fun has left London. I always wanted to go there. Being a Northern monkey here, I always wanted to get out of London just to go to Sega World.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, my parents won't cough up.
Yeah, that was a great day out at Sega World.
So how did Sega World? How did it work?
Because when it first opened, you paid a tenner to get in, and then everything was on free play, and it was just brilliant. You could stay in there all day just playing all the games on free play. And then they realised that they could make loads of money out of it and didn't charge to get in, but then charged £1 per machine, and so it sort of lost its appeal a little bit, and it certainly lost its community sort of thing. Because whenever you used to go up there used to be loads of people all playing like Daytona, and they used to have a round robin. Winner stayed on. It was brilliant.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm sure I read somewhere that didn't you go in and you go up an escalator right to the top floor and you kind of worked your way down, but then you couldn't get back up. Is that right?
Yeah. If you went down a level, you couldn't get back up, so you had to make sure that you did that level completely before you went down. So it was.
The reason for that was because at the top floor there used to be the Guinness World Records thing before it was taken over by Sega.
Ah, right.
Does anyone remember that? The top floor was like a I wouldn't even call it a museum. What would you call it? It's more like a waxwork type thing. But that was rubbish, so Sega took over that as well. That's why there was only one floor up there that was not linked. Just so you know.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh.
I never went to it, but I did read up on it. It definitely seemed like a very interesting place to be. But the thing is, even if you were to do something like that again now, a lot of people did say, well, why should we go down there? Rather than have a sense of community sort of at this Sega World, a lot of people just rather do it online. So really, you'd only get the hardcore sort of groups that go down there for that. So I don't, with online gaming as it stands now, I don't think you get something like that open up again, really, which is a shame. It's a massive shame.
I don't know. I think
dead arm up after you've been beaten. You can't give him a dead arm or punch him in the eye or whatever you want to do. I think that's what I miss most. I was playing GoldenEye. There was 4 of us. It was sort of around your 15-inch small TV in your room with the 3 of your friends, and somebody had camping on GoldenEye. How the fuck that worked, right, is beyond me. But he was just sitting there with a golden gun, and he was just sat in this corner, and it was just the one entrance. And he just kept doing it, and he was laughing, he was laughing. And the Nintendo 64 controllers, the 3 prongs.
Two prongs at once.
He got the one. I don't want to know what that means, Carl, to be honest. 2 prongs at once, I really don't.
One's the hand, the other 2 is for insertion.
Oh dear, it's already gone.
Oh, Christ. How fucking far are we in? Well, not even 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Well, you say that. I tell you that looking at camping in GoldenEye was a whole new tactic that doesn't get used now. You used to have to turn and face the corner so nobody knew where you was camping. You had to look at the wall, and things like Mario Kart. Part of the game was to look at where the other person and where they was and what they were doing. That was a tactic. Which obviously you don't get now. You can't do that. But definitely made for.
That's it. Giving him a slap. Stop looking at my half of the screen.
Yeah.
Because you catch him doing it. They're like, I wasn't.
You could do that on Wario Stadium where they're going up to that big jump at the end, and if you had a lightning and you could see on their screen they're about to come up,
Yeah.
you get them right at the last minute,
Oh,
halfway
yeah.
back through the level.
Skanky.
Loads of
Yeah.
fun.
But we
that-
were playing that. We were playing this GoldenEye, and this guy, he was taunting my friend. And my friend, he's got minimal patience, still has to this day. So you're talking 15 years on, he's still a minimal patience sort of guy. So he grabbed one of the prongs on the N64 and he brought the middle one down as hard as he could on the top of his skull. Literally, just brought it straight
Wow.
down, and the controller just it just split. And the strength on the N64 controller, I mean, you used to throw them and everything, nothing used to happen. He brought it down on top of his skull, and it just cracked in half. This thing, and it was unbelievable. No, the controller split in half. It just literally was like a pang, and it just sort of split. And it's that sort of level. It's like, especially with your friends, it's like take the retro corner. There was a Eurogamer. I was watching. There was a few people there playing GoldenEye, and it's just a sort of experience that you're not likely to get again, unless you're at certain events, which is a real shame. It is a real shame. Things like that.
Those events are starting to come back. You got people like Hand-Baked Arcade and Nintendo Disco and that kind of thing. And I've spoken to a few other people who are looking to start up events like that, where it's sort of aimed at us at the age we're at now with the memories we had then. You know what I mean? To try and give that experience. But that's why replay is so popular. It's 30-year-old guys going there and just this whole world of our childhood just right there. And we're old enough to drink now, so it's a load more fun.
Yeah, it's good. The fact that the whole one side of the expo is one giant bar. Yeah.
That was a coincidence.
Yeah, me and Jack, obviously every year, Jurassic was with me this year. He was doing some filming with me, and we were just like, yeah, we've done 10 minutes of filming. I think we've earned a pint. So it's even bigger this year, though, wasn't it, Gary? It was. Yeah. 2 halls this time. It was crazy.
To be honest, I didn't make it to all of it. There was, so many people. We didn't get a lot of time to look about, but yeah, it certainly did seem bigger than last year.
Oh yeah, of course, because you had the run of a whole one corner of one of the halls as always, which was always good fun. I think you had the best stall there, and I'm not, big fan, sucking up. It was a nice plot, man. Yours set up quite well. Does it actually do quite well to actually set up there? Then is that like one of your main events that you do, or do you do any others? Stuff?
Probably financially, I don't think it's the best show that we do, but it's certainly the one I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
And it's certainly the one that we put the most effort into. We've got the biggest stand there that we do out of all the other shows, and that it's that's just our target market right there. It's everybody at Replay,
Yeah.
So yeah, we look forward to that.
It's always a good thing. But speaking of remakes, here's one I was playing earlier on. Do anyone remember Theme Park from back in the day?
Oh, I love Theme Park.
Yeah, Theme Park.
You're playing that on the iPhone.
Taking a sec.
That's on the iPhone.
It's on the iPhone.
Right, just click it over to iTunes literally as we speak.
Do it.
I tried to play that on the PC recently, and it's a bit of a nightmare. It goes too fast, and they made other theme parks like sequels that were all sort of 3D and horrible, and they don't really work that well.
Yeah, I remember. I had it on the. I'm going to sound like a fanboy, but I had it on the Mega Drive, and it worked quite well.
Oh, really?
Console. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'll probably put a picture of the game box on the screen now for those watching the video version of this. Yeah, you could actually, funnily enough, you could build your own roller coasters even in the console version. Relatively limited, but you could like make the track, 3 different gradients going up and down, and put the loops in and stuff like that. It was
make it high enough that you could like throw punters out at the top.
Yeah, that's the one.
See them flying across the screen.
That was the thing I loved most about Theme Park. You wait for the roller coaster to go past on the bit that you're on, and you just got the delete button there or the sell button. And just as it comes up, just watch everybody come flying off of the screen. That was basically all I played Theme Park for. I just made one big roller coaster, just put loads of people on it, just waited to the end of the track. Delete, 3 carriages go rolling over, about 50 people dead. Good day's work, all in all.
Nice. Are you one of those people that used to play The Sims and like build a swimming pool, wait for your Sims to get in the swimming pool, and then get rid of the exits, and they slowly drop?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
I did not. Why don't I know about this?
A lot of people used to have, the sort of Joseph Fritz idea, if you like. Just put them in a box. Literally, just build a wall around them, and they piss themselves, and they're literally crying, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I need the toilet. They piss themselves, and then they fall over dead.
Brilliant.
I used to do that. Yeah, I used to marry somebody I didn't like and do that. Which explains why you haven't heard from my wife in a while. But, yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's bad. I should try that, man.
You've got to.
Yeah, a little bit cathartic thing. Never hurt anyone, did it? You know, most people go on Call of Duty these days and all that, or Battlefield or whatever, and seems I'm fecking useless at both of them. You know, bit of a replay catharsism. Can't go wrong.
Why kill them quickly when you can make it a slow death?
That's right.
Oh, man, that'd be good. And there's a whole community of people who do death coasters on YouTube through like Roller Coaster Tycoon. They post them on and just build these ridiculous, great big roller coasters and then try and launch them as far as they can and things like that. It's just always fun.
There should be ways of getting the stats for that, and putting up a leaderboard and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a league to be had in replay right there, isn't there? Let's face it.
You threw little Johnny 700 meters.
Yeah.
There wasn't even enough of him to scrape off the floor.
Yeah, so you want that achievement. In fact, that would be a good Xbox achievement.
Yeah.
Bringer of Doom.
Splat.
Even better. Boom, boom, achievement unlocked. Splat. That would be awesome.
Isn't it interesting though how people sort of create new games out of games like that? You're creating a new way of playing something that's completely against what the developers had in mind. But there's loads of those things out there. Have you seen all the stuff that goes on with Worms, the Worms races and stuff? No, I'm getting a blank. It's incredible. People set up their own custom Worms levels that are really difficult to navigate, and they use ninja ropes to get from one end to the other in the shortest time possible. There are videos on YouTube of people doing this. It is insane. I can't imagine how people have got that level of proficiency on it. But yeah, it's pretty incredible stuff.
Darksiders, don't they call themselves? Are the guys that keep using ninja ropes and digging into the ground and stuff like that? Is that right?
Darkside.
Did they call them Darksiders?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a community. I'm sure I refer to someone who referred themselves as Darksiders, where they like dig underground and wait for everyone to die and then come back out and get the final blow, or go around with ninja ropes and stuff.
It's a valid tactic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used that one.
If you do it, then it's valid.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. It's the Worms equivalent of using noob tubes, you know?
If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, exactly.
It's in the game, yeah. It's the developer's fault. It's in the game.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah,
exactly.
Jumping off the edge of Rainbow Road.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. When it curves around and you can...
Yeah, oh, that's so
At least
hard.
there's a risk involved, You're kind of taking a chance there. If you do it, fair play.
All right, I think so. I did that on. If you look at the latest Wipeout on PlayStation Vita, I know we're going way into the future now, but I did a review of that. It's on YouTube there, Game Nerds UK, and I skipped half of the map. I just came off the edge, landed on the map underneath, and it like skipped half of the map. It was there's plenty of opportunity to do it. I think that was a bit of a homage to that shortcut. To be fair, it reminded me very much of it. So. Lawrence, what do you reckon? Is there any particular games you want to see remade onto iPhone? I mean, in general, guys, what do you think of the whole...
On the iPhone? Or...
Yeah, just in general, just like Xbox, iPhone, where the 3DS has brought quite a lot of stuff out at the moment, so...
Yeah, I don't know, really. I mean, a lot of the old stuff, if you go back to them, they don't play as well as you expect.
Them there be fighting words, boy.
Well, let's take example Gauntlet, right? Gauntlet was a great game back then, but nowadays they have during the PlayStation era they did remake Gauntlet, and apparently that flopped. But if you were to remake Gauntlet now, it'll be basically Diablo. So why bother making Gauntlet again? Might as well just play Diablo. And now you've got World of Warcraft as well,
Well, yeah, but it depends what you mean by remake. Are you remaking the game including the original physics of the game and including the original gameplay?
Well, the problem with remake is games nowadays are so different to the games back then. If you to remake it, only really what you're using characters and the name, and that's
then that's a sequel, not a remake.
Well, oh right, you're talking about like Xbox Live remakes and stuff. Like
Well,
arcade.
it's a good.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what, Colin probably knows what game I want remade. I've been gunning for it for years. Is Chaos on the Spectrum? I'd love that to be remade.
Get in. There is actually an updated version.
I know.
See,
but
have you seen it?
Yeah.
Blackadder sounds
Yes, yeah. But I'd love it to be remade on. But you know, okay, maybe tweak the graphics so they're a bit prettier, but keep it the one screen that it was.
Yeah.
And put it on Xbox Live and have 8 players over Xbox Live, and I just think it would be awesome for me, but I'm not sure how commercially viable it would be. I don't think anyone would actually. People would look at it now and go, "What the fuck have I just bought here?" But
well, on one hand, no one's going to spend money on it, but on the other hand, it'd take the developers probably about 3 hours to make. So you know,
I
was about to say that.
Stick it up for 200 points. I reckon it'd go down quite well.
I'd love to see that game on Xbox Live.
Have you got it on the iPhone?
I've got it on yes, I've got it on the
on the Spectrum emulator.
The Spectrum app. Yeah, I've got it on that. But like I say, it was always better than multiplayer.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's another one where you've got all your mates around a 14-inch screen and you're hitting each other, getting the wrong spell, and you know, people having to turn around so that they don't see what spell you're going to cast and whether or not it's an illusion.
Illusion, that was it. Yeah, and you know, it's like if you casted a golden dragon without an illusion, everyone would go.
I have never seen a golden dragon actually cast unless the computer does.
No, I haven't.
And it's always real.
What about I remember another one your mates around the telly. I do remember Micro Machines 2.
Oh,
J carts. You can have like four controllers, and you can have 8 people, like 2 sharing a controller each.
Brilliant.
I can't begin to tell you about Micro Machines. We played so much of that some friends of ours were in a band and they wrote a song about the Turbo Turns level called Turbo Turns. It's really good.
Gary, if you can find an MP3 of that, I will put it on the podcast.
I've actually got one.
Now.
I'll send it over. The band isn't around anymore, so I'm sure there's no copyright issues. I'll send it over to you.
Okay, for your listening pleasure, here is what Turbo Turns it was called?
Turbo Turns by Sleeve.
There you go. Here we go.
It's the bed or the floor. You've done this over and over again and again. You're here with your friends and I believe it's your turn for the bar and the game. It's always the same. Why don't you take a controller and type in your name? No need to explain, cause now it's time to take it right. Take you on the corner, but you off the side. Or have you had enough? Had enough? You can't keep up the pace. You'll be behind in the race. You're going round and around it again and again. Just hope that you win, or else it's your turn to rack up the ball once again. You're going insane. Why don't you mash on those buttons and speed down the lane? Tomorrow's the same. You know it's time to take it right. Take you on the corner, but you off the side. Or have you had enough? Had enough? Or have you had enough? Had enough? Red, blue, yellow, green.
And that was our tune of the week, Turbo Turns by Sleeve, now known as the Dopamine Theory. You can find out more by visiting myspace.com/the Dopamine Theory. And we're back. So yeah, Micro Machines, that was awesome. I do remember sitting around with all my schoolmates. We did actually once, in fact twice in my gaming life, have 8 people around a tiny little CRT TV
Yeah, we used to do it all the time.
in a bedroom.
We used to hunt big 24-inch TVs around each other's house, and set 'em up, the parents used to go away for a weekend or something, and it was like that was the initiation for everyone to grab their TVs and take it.
Micro Machines party!
Oh, mate. And it was Bomberman, it was Street Fighter, Worms, it was classics.
Man.
Literally, when the parents went away, it was just your living room was just. It had like 2 great big TVs. It was full of cables. You couldn't, because of course wireless wasn't about then,
Yeah.
So you couldn't move for a cable, and if you moved, you had to be careful you weren't moving like in front of one of your friends who was playing. Otherwise, you get a dead leg as you walk past. Get out the fucking way. There was a lot of that. They are the days I miss. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy playing on Xbox Live, obviously with Gamer Dads and with whatnot. But they were the days really I'd love to see brought back. But obviously it's like a dinosaur now. It's a thing of the past, really. But
Xbox Live is like a watered down version of how we used to play games, really. In a way,
it's a much easier accessible version, though, isn't it?
Of course,
That's the thing. I mean, do you remember dragging your PCs round to your mates' houses for a LAN party and spending the first 3 or 4 hours trying to sort out the networking in Windows 95?
First game I've done that with was Battlefield 1942. I dragged my machine, and I was living in a place called Port Talbot at the time, and I had to go to Pontypridd. It was, I think it was about 50 miles apart. I only had a moped at the time. And actually, I strapped my my base unit to my moped, and I sat on that for the entire journey.
So that's dedication.
Whoa.
That can't be very
Oh, it was
wheelies all the way.
Oh no, it wasn't comfortable at all. The moment I get off, I tell you what, and I sat on the settee, it's like my arse had gone to heaven. But it was like,
and that was after got the
and, you opened yourself up to that one.
Yeah, of course I did. I wouldn't expect anything fucking different, to be honest with you. I don't say fuck all about that one.
So did anyone else play Bomberman as well? Anyone else
yeah. Mega Bomberman, that was awesome with the little kangaroo dudes.
No,
you could ride on.
It was all Super Bomberman.
Yeah, I mean Super Bomberman and Super NES on the basic classic level.
Damn straight.
With just the basic weapons, that was just awesome.
Oh, I don't know. We always used to have the punch where you can punch it over, hit someone over the other side.
You'd always get one that would get it straight away and just punch it straight across the screen, and it'll kill you straight. You bastard. I still play that on Xbox Live every now and again.
I've got it on Xbox Live. I couldn't really get back into it. It seems to have lost something in the translation.
If you're playing with like a good set of people,
good set of GDs and that, it's good, isn't it? We'd have a few good nights on that.
Oh yeah.
We should bring that back. Let us know in the comments below, either on iTunes or on YouTube. Do you want to bring back retro gaming nights, such as Bomberman and all the rest of them?
Worms, Bomberman,
or even better, I'll tell you what. Let's collate it all in one place. Go to the Retrocast UK forum section in Gamer Dads and let us know there. We'll have a feed for the podcast, and just let us know in the comments there what you want to play, and we'll set it up. Shameless plug.
Is there an option for Worms? Is there anything at the moment that sort of plays that online? Old school Worms, I mean, Worms reinforcements.
They're not so much online. There's an iPhone version which is quite cheap. That plays very well, actually. It's what the touchscreen was invented for, to be fair. I do play a lot of that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about it seems to be the fashion to bring back retro remakes onto phones. I mean, is it an ideal platform, or just the fact that you're covering the screen?
No, not really.
I think it's brilliant.
You think it's brilliant, Lawrence? So we've got 3 against 1 4.
Thinks it's brilliant.
Oh, sorry.
I've recently been playing through all the Sonics on the iPhone, 1, 2, Sonic CD and Sonic Spinball, and I've never been so addicted to it, even back in the day when I actually had them for 40 quid on the Mega Drive. It's just a really brilliant conversion, and because you're not playing it on an emulator, you're limited to how many lives you've got, obviously. So I'm just finding that I'm trying so much harder. I'm conserving all my rings and trying to get the extra lives and trying to get all the Chaos Emeralds, and it's taken up an enormous amount of my time, and it's just like it was back in the old days, and I don't get that from emulators.
But do you play this on like a? Have you got one of the plug-in joypads that you can now buy these days, or do you just play it with a touch screen or what?
I'm just playing that with the touchscreen.
So
I can't get used to it.
I can't.
No.
I can't.
Sonics are easy because there's only one button.
True, but then you haven't got the sort of feedback of the D-pad in your hand. I think I like that.
I don't find that too difficult. I played a lot of GTA Chinatown Wars when it first came out as well, with the same kind of thing, and I never found that a problem. And the good thing about Sonic is all the area that you're playing in is always central. It's the level that moves and not the character, or at least he's only limited in how much he moves. So he's never really going. You're never blocking the action with your thumb, is what I'm saying. And not all games have that. But yeah, it works really well for the Sonics.
See, a recent re-release that everybody was looking forward to, including me, because I used to play it on the Amstrad as well, was Dizzy, Prince of the Young Folk. Yes.
I haven't been able to play it yet, because it needs iOS 4.3, which I don't have. And I'm a bit gutted, really, because that was my favourite games character of all time.
Well, I got it when it came out.
Is.
It was the only thing, because of course you can't get it on XBLA, you can't get it on the PlayStation Network. I didn't realise it was actually being designed for the iPhones and the portable devices. But I played it, and it just didn't have the same feeling to it.
No.
It really didn't have the same feeling to it as in you weren't hunched over, like say for instance an Amstrad, and you didn't have the keys. It's a bit of a touchy subject really for a lot of people. But I don't agree with remakes.
What, Dizzy in particular, or the whole concept of the...
or the whole concept of it. Yeah, the whole concept of having old games, having them sort of remade, remastered, and putting them sort of up to date. It doesn't do it for me.
So would you sooner have it like, say, Sonic Generations, where it's like a new levels, but sort of loosely based on with what came before, or would you just not want it at all, or what?
Well, I think there's a fine line between sort of remastered and sort of remade. I mean, to have, like say, like now with Sonic Generations, you got the 2 dimensions, you got the 3D, and you got the 2D. I think that's a pretty good idea. But I don't know. I don't know what it is that doesn't really appeal to me, if I'm honest. It's just the whole concept of when I used to play this, it's the same as say, for example, Streets of Rage 2, when you used to have it on the Mega Drive, and there was cables everywhere, but
great game.
But now you can get it on XBLA, which is great because it was one of the Doom was another one, but they haven't touched it. It still has its original class. The original buttons. It's all the same. Remakes I don't agree with, and Prince of the Yoke Folk. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, it plays nice, but for me, it was just the tone of green that came with the Amstrad, and the click. It's the feel to it in particular that got me, but I don't agree with it making them for.
Well, on that one in particular, have they updated the physics? Is the physics different to how it played on the Amstrad?
No, I mean, he still, if you hold the jump button, you'll hit the floor. And remember, he used to roll once and then go again. You could literally just jump through a level. Nothing's changed about it. Right. You can just you can put stuff down, you can pick stuff up. It's got the same essential feel to it, but of course now it's in high definition color and things like that. It's like in this one, there's iPods. Some of the items have been brought up to date.
Oh no, that's sacrilege.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. I have got it to review, but I haven't got around to doing it yet, frankly. But it's incoming.
There's an iPod in it.
Wow. Instead of the Walkman.
No.
Yeah, instead of the Walkman, they've got they say it's an.
Well, our kids aren't going to know what a tape is. I mean, come on.
Did you ever see that article where they gave a kid, one of today's kids, an old school Sony Walkman on the anniversary?
Yeah, I see that.
And it took him like a week to figure out that he had to turn the tape on.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But then, how are they supposed to know?
Yeah, true.
It just makes me feel really bloody old.
That's what I'm saying. If we got to the age now where, the stuff we're talking about, we do sound like, to the younger generation, we just sound like old men talking about our parents talking about the 60s.
They don't have blackboards anymore. They have big fuck-off screens, touch screens, in classrooms.
With
It's
iPads.
a brave new world.
Yeah.
And
I
by
saw the
brave,
picture.
what I mean
What
is
about-
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Losing touch on reality.
Yeah, really.
Does anyone have a Wii? Does anyone have a Wii?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't play it though.
Not anymore.
No, my wife sold my.
I use it for Virtual Console. That's about it. And
I was
shooting
going to say,
games.
I mean, Virtual Console. When it was first announced, the Wii, I thought this is just going to be the biggest thing ever. You know, people are going to be able to download all the old games and everything else. But I mean, I don't use it. But I'll tell you a game that talking about remakes, Donkey Kong. I've got that on the
Donkey
Wii.
Kong
It's
Country.
a brilliant
Oh, yes,
game.
it
Me
is.
and my son play it, you know, and it's just brilliant. It's a really cool game.
It is a good one. It is a good one. Have any of you guys played that?
No.
No.
Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong Country. It's exactly
the
like the
SNES
Super
one?
NES. Yeah, but it's
Yeah, with
different.
like
The levels are different.
pre-rendered 3D graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
they-
played it briefly. Not much experience with it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, brilliant.
It was
game.
good. Me and GD were blessed enough to be able to review it at Eurogamer 2010. It was 2010. Good lord. God, time flies. Yeah, I was in love with it from day one. That was a good game, that. But yeah, I do like that kind of thing personally. But the problem, I thought I'd like the 2D Sonic, the old school Sonic bits on Sonic Generations, but he doesn't move the same. He doesn't jump. You know what I mean? He should.
This is what I've
have
been
the
saying.
same
It's all about the physics. If you change the physics,
Yeah.
you change the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you played Sonic 4, I mean, the abomination that is Sonic 4, and oh, good lord. His jumping was like the old school, that was fine, but his running, he was like he's running through treacle. You let go of the D-pad, he just stopped, didn't he?
Yeah.
Whereas on Sonic Generations, the running is spot on, but the jumping is shite.
I think if you mess about with the game's physics, you risk potentially ruining the game, no matter how loyal to its roots. If you mess with the game's physics, you potentially risk fucking everything up. Potentially, because it's like you think it doesn't play like it used to, and if it doesn't play like it used to, it won't have the same feel. If it doesn't have the same feel, you might as well be playing something else with a different name.
Yeah,
I
agree.
No, I'm with you on that one. A good one you're on about. Here's one for everyone, all the listeners to look out for. In the middle kind of a thing. If we all remember Monkey Island, I'll give it a second to get the orgasmic. Oh yes, that's the reaction I thought we'd all get.
Yes.
Now that is available on iOS and Android. What they've done, so Gary will know this. What they've done is it's high def pre-rendered graphics, which is what Matt says is a bit of a sacrilege. However, if you pinch the screen, it turns into the old school Amiga graphics.
Ooh, that's clever.
Yeah, I got it on XBLA.
At any time, and if
if
you flick your fingers out, it goes back to the high def. So you can do it whenever you want. Switch them on and off.
That's quite clever. That's quite cool.
I got it on the XBLA, and that's all you got to do is press the back button, and you can switch between the two modes. And I always played with the old one. I mean, the new ones, they look great, and obviously you haven't got to read as much because obviously it's all voiced over and everything now compared to what it used to be. But I played it in the old mode. But again, it doesn't feel right with the controller.
That's why it's better on a touch screen, like a tablet or a phone or something, because that basically acts like a mouse, So I found those kind of games, that Broken Sword, if you remember that.
Yeah, I got that.
Done a
I
similar
suppose passive games would convert quite well. Where
point and click games.
Yeah,
point and click games would work quite well. Yeah,
I haven't been able to get on with that with the point and click because you're using your finger to sort of say I want to go over here, but then trying to get it to do a command, talk to this person or pick this up or whatever. It doesn't really seem all that responsive. On the mouse, you had the right click, and a lot of those LucasArts games you could right click and you'd have the most popular option. But you only get the buttons to choose what to do in the old school mode, not in the new one. So I found it was quite difficult.
See, the one part that gets me with that, because obviously, recently I've got an iPhone. I say recently, it's about 4 months. And we said about Broken Sword, then there's a part that, it might prove a bit difficult. There's a part in Ireland. If you remember, you go over to Ireland, you're sat in that bar, and you've got to wait for this guy to pick his pint glass up, and you've got to take a beer mat from underneath it, and he uses it for this plaster of Paris to make a mould or something. But I think something like that, with a screen that size, maybe with a tablet, it's a lot better off.
Yeah.
But this is where that I believe shortcomings would come, literally. Because you try and click on that, and I mean, even with a 15-inch screen, or 15-inch monitor, sorry, even with something like that, it proved difficult to even find it with the with a mouse. You had to literally go over it. Ooh, what was that? And go back. People now, unless you played the original, you wouldn't have a clue what you were doing. But there's no way you'd be able to get it. I don't think.
But to be fair, now you can look on the internet for the answer.
Yeah,
That's true.
The
know,
game gives you hints anyway, doesn't it? Now they
I
make
had
it
to
quite
do that
easy.
The other day. I had to do that the other day, actually. I've been playing... this is one of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight. The game I've been spending most of my life, actually, over the past 2 weeks. Most of it I spent on the Dreamcast. And I've been playing Shenmue.
Oh, yes.
Playing Shenmue. Fantastic. And there was a part I actually had to look up on there. But it's like, years ago, you couldn't. And it was just like, well... what the fuck am I supposed to do? And, you're literally stuck with... You had to find it out, or you just put the game on the shelf and you let it die, because you literally couldn't get past it.
Well, if you're in school at this point, this is one of the great things about certainly the adventure games. You'd go to school and compare notes with your friends who are also playing the same game.
Yeah.
And, they've got past a little bit that you can't get past, and you're swapping ideas, go back, play a little bit more, come back. It was a real collaborative effort. I miss that.
Yeah.
So, do we not get that from Xbox Live and PlayStation Network and that? The fact that you can go on and
It's not
do that?
quite the same, because I mean, don't get me wrong. You meet people online and you sort of create communities and make friends as such, but they're not really your friends. I mean, me and Cole, obviously, we've met now at Eurogames, so, and me and Matt as well. So, we've met personally, so it's a little bit different. But people that you've never met before online, you can't really call them your mates or your friends, because they're just people that you like online. But not, you don't really know them, and you might not necessarily get on with them in real life if you was to go for a pint or something. So I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's the same. I don't think it can be quite the same.
No, the one thing you'd say about that, it's like, if you said, all right, I'm stuck on this bit on, well, we'll say Broken Sword, for example, and this is current day. If you said, oh, I'm stuck on Broken Sword, oh, well, I haven't played it, but I tell you what, there's a good site where you can find a walkthrough in this year.
Yeah.
But it's like you had to have played the game. Somebody come to you in school, back in 1994, 1995, and said, oh, I'm stuck on this bit. Oh, well, I haven't played it. I can't help you. And that's the end of the line until you literally find somebody who's playing the same game as you, which is how a lot of friendships were formed, I think, really, through mutual love of the same game.
But then that's glass half empty. What about half full in the fact that you haven't got that prejudice elements, when you're in school, you meet someone, if you don't like look a bit scary, whereas on Xbox it's just a voice, it could be anyone.
The one good thing about online gaming is that everyone's equal right from the off. There's no
That's what I like.
if you're rich or poor or whatever, everyone's the same, which is a cool thing about it. Whereas, like you say, when you meet people in person, you can get a very quick judgment on whether you're probably going to get on with them or not, I suppose. Yeah.
But we also get rage quitters and people telling you suck.
That's true. Yeah, you get
online gaming as well.
See, that's another thing. If say you're playing Street Fighter in the arcade, and somebody was giving you half the abuse if you beat them. Say over Xbox Live, somebody, oh, you suck, or your mother, blah blah. You know what kids are like.
You lamp them, wouldn't you?
You get off of that now. People wouldn't do it if they stood next to an arcade. They just walk off muttering under their breath.
Everyone's a big man behind their mic, aren't they?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Some more so than others.
Yeah.
We can name a few.
Yeah, Carl, you dickhead.
Oh yeah, no shot on the mic now, Matt. Come on then. It's true. So what we're saying, retro remakes bad unless they're played on the original console.
I think it depends on the game, really.
Yeah, I don't think
And it depends on the remake
bad.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a remake and it stays true to its form, I think it's a good thing, because it's going to open up a new market to like young kids maybe that will look at it and think, actually, yeah, that's a really cool game, and start maybe investigating a bit further and having a look back at where it all started. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but as long as it's done right.
Maybe that's when I've just had a bad experience with Dizzy, because, if you bring back games from sort of when I was 10 years old and they haven't been adjusted, it'd play exactly the same. then it'd be fantastic. But a lot of developers now, it's like obviously because they're trying to move sort of up with graphics and graphics, playability, and everything to sort of entice new people in. I believe that if you're going to have a remake, you should leave it as it was back then.
There's also the thing. I mean, I went back and played Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion recently back in the Mega Drive. Well, this used to be one of my favourite games, the Mega Drive, and I went back and played it, and it got really boring really quick, and it was just felt a little bit unresponsive. It just felt a little bit clunky, and we're so now used to Twitch games, so as soon as you move, the character moves. And it just felt really slow and awkward, and I sort of thought, damn, it doesn't feel as good as what it did back then. So sometimes I think we look back with rose-tinted glasses, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, Castle of Illusion. Oh, I loved it. We used to, before school, used to go around to my friend's house and they had it on the Game Gear. And we used to sit there for a good hour before school playing Castle of Illusion. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. I got to get it. I'd forgotten all about that. I got to get it.
Another one to get if you're going back to that era, Quackshot.
Yeah, brilliant game.
Oh, yes.
Don't recall it.
Quackshot was awesome. Different coloured plungers. Gary and Lawrence, did you ever play that one? Or
That's a Mega Drive game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I never had a Mega Drive. Sorry. I've got one now.
Hang on a minute, you've got a Mega
That's why I've been quiet for so long.
We're now virtually beating Lawrence up.
Mind you, I feel a bit outnumbered because I think you three, you four, in fact, are all Nintendo fanboys from back in the day.
No, I was Sega.
You were Sega?
Yeah.
Mega Drive. You never had a Mega Drive then?
No, Lawrence didn't have a Mega Drive.
I didn't have.
I don't really understand that.
Oh, sorry, I was busy writing notes. Sorry, Lawrence.
Sorry, go on. I fucking hate cutting people up. Go on. Sorry, somebody was going to say something then. Right, I'll just fucking carry on then. Right, okay.
You actually interrupted him about 3 times
Matt.
in a row then.
With me, it's like because a lot of them were sort of hand-me-downs. I didn't really have a loyalty to either Sega or Nintendo. Most of mine were just hand-me-downs anyway, so I didn't have a loyalty to one or the other. I don't think.
Well, I think it comes with age as well. By the time I got a SNES, I grew out of being loyal. But before I got the SNES, I had an Amiga and I had a Commodore 64 or Commodore 128 really. But I was quite loyal to the Commodore.
Spectrum's better.
Oh yes. 108K all the way.
Right. See you in the playground.
Yeah.
We've had this fight plenty of times. I was Spectrum and Lawrence was Commodore, and
but the Commodore.
We have a Commodore T-shirt and we have a Spectrum T-shirt. Now, Lawrence, I'm just going to ask you one question: what's the better seller?
It's not about the T-shirt. It's about which machine is better, isn't it?
No.
Sales figures. Let's talk business here.
Which one of those two T-shirts did we stop selling on the store?
Did we stop? We stopped the Commodore.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? And that's because more people bought the ZX Spectrum T-shirt because it is a nostalgic 80s icon and one of the greatest machines ever made and a testament to British engineering.
Thank you.
A better machine, though. I think if you start selling Commodore T-shirts and Spectrum T-shirts in America, you'd find that a Commodore would sell more.
Actually, Commodore, I think, was the best-selling machine of all time. I think it only eventually got beaten by the PlayStation 2, I think. I might be wrong about that, but I think it was something along those lines. That was somewhere in my pattern.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's proven.
The Commodore was a more capable machine. There's no denying it. It was capable of more colours and better sound. But any arcade conversion, every single one of them, they looked awful on the Spectrum, but they played 10 times better than they did on the Commodore. And they look great on the Commodore, but they're slower, they're more clunky, they didn't play as well. Look at any old school review, and it's always a Spectrum one that wins out.
No. Gradius?
Oh, here we go.
Gradius
it's
was
on
better.
now.
Yeah, man. R-Type, that's better than Commodore.
Got a Double Dragon?
Fight.
I don't remember playing Double Dragon.
It was better on the Spectrum. I mean, personally, I preferred the Amstrad, but, somewhere in between.
Actually, the Amstrad was pretty good. Damn you.
No, it's
okay,
got
while we're on the subject then, Master System or Nintendo?
Oh, now then. Reluctantly NES.
Yeah, you only really need Super Mario Brothers, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it have much better games.
Yeah. But out of Mega Drive and SNES, I would say Mega Drive personally. Just
SNES, I'm afraid.
SNES.
well, let's
Mario
keep
Kart.
going. Let's keep
The
going.
SNES won out in the end, but it took a very long time. The Mega Drive was top dog for the first,
Yeah.
5-6 years of its life. And it's only after the Mega Drive kind of stopped and they focused on the Mega CD briefly, and then went on to the 32X, which we don't talk about, and then the Saturn, which we don't talk about. And the Dreamcast.
Don't you go dissing the Saturn.
There's a lot of love for the Saturn.
Saturn's great for 2D. Great for
Saturn's fucking awesome.
stuff like that. But what's that? Panzer Dragoon, was it? Or...
Yeah, one of the best shooting games ever made. Dragon
Magic
Field.
Carpet.
Maybe not. Panzer Dragoon 2 or Zwei or Zweil or whatever the hell it was called.
Zwei, yeah.
That was fucking awesome, man. It was brilliant.
Right, maybe. I didn't actually.
Panzer Dragoon Saga, one of the best RPGs ever made, and it's also one of the most collectible and therefore expensive at the moment. I've looked up on eBay. I've got 2 copies of it myself. That's my retirement fund, man.
Knights was pretty good on the Saturn.
Oh yes. The first analog control stick ever made came out on the Saturn, and it was made for Knights.
And came as a package, yeah.
Yeah.
Game and the controller. How much was it when it was released?
Very expensive. It was about 60 quid, I think, 67, something like that. Which back then was a lot of money. So yeah, and then obviously the PlayStation didn't have any dual. It's hard to think of the PlayStation pad not having any sticks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to do a review of them. I'm going to do like PlayStation pads through the ages, and if like maybe next month when I get a minute. But yeah,
they've gotten
weird.
worse though. The PS3 pad's not very good in my opinion. I think the best PlayStation pad is the DualShock 2.
The PS2 version.
Yeah.
Yeah, good sticks on that one.
Yeah.
Although Steve, you've got a theory for up to date pads, haven't you, mate? In terms of what games are better on what pad.
Oh, definitely. I mean, any beat 'em up I'll get on PlayStation because of the pad. You can't play a beat 'em up on an Xbox pad. The D-pad's just useless on it.
This is true. I'm going to agree with you on that. Definitely.
Definitely the D-pad on the PlayStation is so much better. But for shooters, Xbox.
Yeah.
See, I don't think anybody's actually got the controller sort of quite right. If there's something wrong with one, then you've got the two ends. You've got the good end with the PlayStation pads, and you've got the bad side. The bad side obviously being the analog sticks, and the good side is the D-pad. D-pad has always been fantastic on all PlayStation consoles. I mean, look at the original Xbox controller. The original.
What the
Good
hamburger?
Lord, do we have to?
We're talking about the American one, right? The one that only gorillas are able to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Jaguar pad?
Oh, yeah, fair enough. That was a phone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was like a brick in the hand.
That was
Or
a
Philips CDI pad. No, nobody had one of those.
No, I've got a CDI. I've still got mine.
Really? Well, yeah, the gamepad is a remote control, isn't it?
Oh, with the numbers on it.
No, that was the Jaguar with the numbers on it.
Right. Okay.
Was it? Yeah, it did have numbers on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
CDI pad was a big old clunky thing, but I actually the only couple of games I've got on it is Mad Dog McCree.
Oh.
And
How do you?
Is there a light gun on the CDI? Forgive me.
Of course there is.
I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah, I've got 2 light guns for the CDI for 2-player mayhem.
I need to get me one of them. I'm massively into light gun shooters. I don't know about you guys. That's why I like the Wii so much.
It's brilliant funny though because on the seat you can hear it reading the disc and you shoot and it pauses for about 5 seconds and then decides next scene.
Clearly play tested very well then. Yeah.
Is it like the Kinect then?
Well, the Kinect broke my Xbox. I was one of those people. You plug a Kinect in for like 10 minutes and you get Red Ring of Death.
Oh, right.
That's why I don't have a Wii anymore. I sold it to get another Xbox.
Wow.
Oh, I remember that.
Everyone ever played Child of Eden? Yeah. That's probably quite an old school game, the Kinect. That's as close as we get.
Looked interesting, but I haven't touched it yet.
It's a good one. We did a review sample of that at Gadget Show, and that was interesting. It's basically like a what's that game on the Jaguar with the shooting game? Was it Tempest? Was it? I can't...
Yeah,
Tempest.
Yeah, and it was just like going down a tunnel kind of a thing, going towards the enemies. It's basically like that.
Like Res.
Yeah, yeah,
so-
yeah, like 10% of res, but you're looking at it in first person and you're controlling the reticle with your hand basically, and you're moving it around, and it shoots automatically, and you just have to move it around and shoot the enemies that come towards you. It's cool. It plays old school.
Doesn't
It's
sound
nice.
as good as Connectimals.
What, stroking the tiger.
You're not
What we call
MLG
it.
unless you own Connectimals.
I've not seen it.
Much.
I had Connectimals. It was fun for the first 5 minutes, but
Yeah, the kids love it.
So it's good from a game that standpoint, isn't it? I suppose something to play with the kids.
yeah.
So
Well,
do you
I
literally hold your hand out and stroke a virtual lion? Is that like the kind of thing we're talking about?
Yeah, you can get it to roll over through different sort of. You can either give it voice
But
commands,
it's
which tended not to work very well, if I'm honest.
It is a
Sounds
cute,
like
fluffy
Nintendogs kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically a high def Nintendogs. To be fair, it plays exactly the same.
So
Good
you tell
lord,
it to lie
Nintendogs.
down, but
You can make it roll over and pet it and stroke it, and
I think I might actually have to get this.
if you're feeling
Really?
particularly
Oh my gosh.
energetic,
yeah,
you can actually do it yourself. You want it to lie down. You lie down on your back, and then you stand up, and then you look at it, and it's lying down. It's very interactive.
Okay.
But I think with the posture of the body and everything, I think that's a backup because the voice never worked very well. But then that's just me.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's more aimed at kids, though, isn't it? I mean, kids bloody love it. My daughter would love it as well, but I've not got a big enough living room for Connect without having one of those stupid add-on things on it, so I've never bothered with it. But I know she'd love it. We play it. Funnily enough, they've got it set up in Tesco where I live in the upstairs bit. She always runs to it to stroke the stroke the cat. It's a bit stupid. Okay, well we'll round this up then with best game you can play with your kids then, or is that yours, Steve? Connectimals or?
Oh no, I'd say something like Mario on the Wii or Donkey Kong. Believe it or not,
That's an interesting one.
that's what
Anyone
me and my boy playing the most.
Sweet. Any of you three played the new Mario on Wii? Or mind you can't, Gary, because you've sold yours, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play the Wii at all. Sorry.
Ah, boo. So that's derailed that then.
Best thing. Well, you don't. You can. I'm sure you could play with your kids on the Xbox or PlayStation.
Gears of War.
Yeah.
Mortal
Silent
Kombat
Hill.
doesn't matter who
You
fatalities.
know what? You could probably start them off on Smash TV,
Oh, brilliant!
twin sticks,
a good one.
and then work
I
up
think I've
to
actually got that
Halo.
on Xbox Live. I'm pretty sure I got that early on. Yeah.
It's a tricky one. For me, weirdly enough, Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Next one's coming out on the 3DS in a couple of months, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, my boy, well, I've started him off with the old console. I don't trust in my Xbox. Well, saying that, we play Lego Harry Potter together, me and my eldest boy. It's a good one for the kids, but I've started him with Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, enjoy that. Still very playable. Very, very playable.
Yeah,
I
it's very
enjoy it.
kid friendly. I think that one.
I think any of the
Yeah.
Mario Karts are going to be a good place to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're still popular today as they always were.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong
all-nighters
with
we used to
Mario
have on
Kart.
Mario Kart.
Sorry?
Amount of all-nighters we used to have on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Battle mode.
On the SNES? Or...
Oh yes.
Yeah, SNES. Love the SNES version.
Can't
Yeah.
decide whether I prefer the
Purist.
SNES or the N64 version. They're
I
both
think-
brilliant.
They are
Well, it
both
depends how many
brilliant.
people you have gathered around
Yeah.
the TV, innit? If you've got
Yeah.
more than two, put the
Fair enough.
N64 on. I think.
Yeah. Well, you
The
could
new
multi-tap. You
one's
could
awesome.
multi-tap, couldn't you? The Mario Kart with the SNES. Stick the multi-tap in, get 4 players.
Can
The-
you?
Player battle mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
thought it was
remember.
the
We never
PlayStation.
had one.
Yeah.
PlayStation had the multi-tap.
You obviously
Yes.
didn't go
Super
next
NES.
door, Gary. At Replay, they had a Mario Kart tournament next door at Replay, and the
I
tournament.
don't know, we were there. Did you see the guy, I can't remember his name now, the guy that was
Sammy.
running the tournament?
Sammy,
Sorry?
yeah, he
Sammy.
was there the year before, wasn't he, as well?
The stuff he was showing us on the original SNES Mario Kart was just insane. Some of the little glitches they're still finding even now. ways of like skipping out half a level by doing crazy jumps, by smashing into a wall and then skidding and then jumping, and you fly over half the screen. Just incredible.
You've got to put some time in, haven't you, to find
Yeah,
things like
really.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
God dear.
He comes every year and he tries to beat the world record for
Yeah.
Mario Kart, and
Yeah.
he is the world record holder.
Well, he's the UK record holder. He did actually
Yeah.
break a record while we were there. I was filming it at the time, which was kind of handy. Or no, I filmed the replay of it. But I think he's number 4 in the world. But he's the UK champion.
Yeah,
But the fact that they're still having those competitions in this day and age, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is there any games that you guys think you're good enough to be able to take part in these competitions then?
No.
I think I mentioned this before. But
That was very resounding.
No!
No, absolutely not. On the dad.
Lawrence holds his own
Time
stuff,
to play games.
Yeah, well, I held a record. I think it was for about 6 weeks. I held a record for the UK for completing Resident Evil, the original.
Nice.
Yeah, it was 1 hour 23, completing the entire game. But then I think some Japanese guy done in some like 116. So
you made you look a bit shit then, really.
yeah, he did. Yeah, I'd love to go back and do it again. You know, and literally just because a lot of it's the same now with speed runners with Half-Life 2. People completing it in stupid times. You know, a lot of it's speed running.
With Resident Evil, as soon as those dogs jumped through the window, that was it. Game over for me.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like the second screen or something?
It is, but the thing is, you go back now and it's like so twee when you compare some of the stuff that's out. But back then, my God, made you jump.
That scared the shit out of me. That did.
That's what my wife got for me. She got me, and it's one I've always wanted since I've started doing retro games, and I managed to get it for a bargain on eBay. The original Silent Hill. The original.
Yeah, cool.
When I first got it, I think I was 14, maybe 15 when I got it. And it scared the shit out of me then.
Girl.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the moment that siren goes off and everything, the world starts to change, it's just like, wow. But I was playing it 3 nights ago maybe, and I was, the world started to change, and I was like, well, yeah, this is all right. But that's another thing of the evolution of Silent Hill. I mean, a lot of it was a psychological aspect of what's in your head. What's that noise? What's this? If you look at Silent Hill Homecoming and compare that to Silent Hill 2, you look at that, and Homecoming is, it's relying on the Resident Evil moments of jumping out on you, which Silent Hill never should have done in the first place.
Well, one game that, I mean, it's not really retro, but have you all played Alan Wake?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that is scary as fuck. I mean,
I really did enjoy that. Yeah, with the darkness, really did enjoy that.
That is psychological, because that's all about fear and it's not making you jump as such. You just gotta. It's just like an intent. You just got to get to the light, and it's just like I just got to get to the light, and it's just like so.
And
I haven't played a scary game in a long time.
Get Alan Wake. It's really cheap as well now. So.
Well, the new one's on XBLA next month, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but the first one, it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant game, I think. Anyway,
you can pick it up dirt cheap now as well. It's a good adventure, really good.
But it's just I can't. It's like you're being chased all the time, and you just get that sense of you just got to get to the light, and you just about make it, and it's
a feeling of unease throughout everything.
Yeah, it's very, very uneasy all the time.
It's like you'd be running towards one light and you think you're just about there. You're literally 3 yards to the light, and you think, "Oh, I'm about to get there," and then the light blows. Yeah. And you think, "Shit, I've got to make it to the next one." You can hear all these noises, and there's, like with the tornadoes, and it's like with the darkness.
You get a flashlight as well, so you can shine the flashlight around, and you might see something just flash past your screen, and it's like, "Oh, Jesus!" Yeah.
Stuff that.
Yeah, definitely recommended, but don't play it at night time.
We are now going to do, as those who used to watch us on the live stream TV shows we used to do last year, every time I get a guest on, we do a Kobayashi Maru, a no-win scenario, whatever the hell you want to call it. So it's time for Lawrence to have his. Steve, do you want to explain the process, and we'll see if we can make him squirm.
Okay, here we go. Right, well, basically, Lawrence, all we're going to do is give you 10 options, and you just have to say the best option for you as quick as possible without trying to think about it too much, if that makes sense. So if I was to ask you...
Fine. Okay, go.
If I was to ask you Samsung or Sony, you would say...
Sony.
Okay, very easy.
Was that one of them?
No, that wasn't, no.
One down, 9 to go.
Lawrence from Retro GT, are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Tea or coffee?
T.
Spectrum or Commodore?
Commodore.
Mario or Sonic?
Mario.
Beer or wine?
Beer, I guess.
Dreamcast or Saturn?
Dreamcast.
Work or play?
Play.
Remake or remaster?
Remaster.
Geeks or nerds?
Geeks.
Street Fighter or Tekken?
Oh, no, that's not fair. At the moment, I'm going to have to go with Tekken.
And finally, the real test. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars? Playing.
Very cool, very cool.
I tell you what, mine, Carl. If we're going to be doing podcasts, sort of a lot, that's one thing I will. I'll have a full hour on is survival horror, because I am big on survival horror, really big.
Sounds like a plan to me. It sounds like probably going to be the next podcast. Gary and Lawrence, you're welcome to join us for that one as well. Until then, we're going to wrap up now, because we're aware that you're probably all at work by now, and the boss is looking at you for having your iPod in your ears.
Get to work, you scumbags.
We'll leave you now with Retro GT. Thanks for joining us, you two.
Thank you.
Their sale is still on, so yeah. It ends on the 31st of January, I believe, isn't it? Still on there.
That's right, yeah.
Go and check them out.
Website address?
Shameless plug-in, Kevin. Here we go.
Someone else can say it.
You have 2 minutes of shameless plug-in, and your time starts now.
RetroGT.com. We do have a sale on at the moment. Loads of cool stuff on there. Some of our best sellers on there as well, and we're reducing by about 25% because we're absolutely insane and we love you all so much. Please check it out.
Check it out. Well, we've got t-shirts for $7.95 on here, so you've got no excuse, guys. Get down there.
We've got kids' t-shirts on there reduced as well, so you've all got kids. Get your kids up in the latest gaming club,
I didn't have much of a chance to check the site out before yesterday, but I checked it out, and there's some amazing stuff on there, guys. Seriously, give it a grab while you can.
Exactly.
And that's what she said.
Thanks very much.
We would not plug people on this show unless we actually believed in it ourselves. It's not about being sponsors or anything like that. The only reason we ask them to be sponsors is because we think they're fucking awesome, okay? And that's genuine. So do go and check them out. If you're watching the vidcast version of this, you'll have seen me wearing their Sonic t-shirt during the intro. But yeah, go and see them. It's not just t-shirts; they do card holders and placemats and all sorts of good stuff. So yeah, RetroGT.com. Until then, I've been Moobit. He has been GD or
Goodbye.
Steve. And also we've got Matt, who I'm sure will be on quite regularly.
Yeah, I will. Cheers, people.
And obviously thank you again to Lawrence and Gary from Retro GT. Hopefully
Cheers.
enjoyed the podcast. Please do comment, rate and subscribe on YouTube. It really does help us. And also go to iTunes, type in the word Gamer Dads. You will find the podcast feed right there and subscribe on there. And if you would be so kind as to leave us a review, that really does help us get up the rankings and get it listened to more people, which means we are more inclined to make these on a more regular basis than we already do. Not balls in your court, listeners. Till then, take care, guys. Thanks for listening. Oh dear. Hello, it's 2011. This is
No, it is.
another
It's
retro.
2012.
Oh well, I'm rudely interrupted.
I know,
Shut
it's, I know it's retro, but bloody hell.
Yeah, 2011. I know. Merry
Hello,
Christmas.
1986.
Hello, it's 1984. Big Brother's watching, and
The Commodore 64 has just been released.
oh yes, no, there's a thing for you.
Steve, I've just realised. I've been trying to think, right? I've just fucking realised who you sound like when you're speaking on your through the headset. Ricky Gervais.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
Like, listen to his podcast and then listen back to yourself on this. Apart from the laugh, because nobody can beat Ricky Gervais's laugh. But listen to what it is, and then listen to you back on this. Does anybody else agree with me, or?
No.
Tumbleweed.
No, to be fair, he'll always be Danny Dyer.
Oh, dear.
I don't see that. I don't see that. I see Ricky Gervais.
Thank you, Matt. Someone with a little bit of
like it.
intelligence.
He sounds just like him. He's like, "Shut up, you slag."
My name's Denny, and today
Get out
we're
my
at
house.
Club.
Oh dear. Years I've had to put up with this.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I wish they hadn't fucking said it, because I can hear the twang now in your voice.
Yeah.
I must have been called so. Been called so many different people here. Danny Dyer, Ricky Gervais. There's been a few others as well.
Actually, no, I don't see Danny Dyer. I don't. There's just little bits in your voice. Little bits, but it's Ricky Gervais written all over it.
Oh dear.
But you lot are agreeing
He's
with me.
toning it down.
Oh, Nutsy is gonna pick this up.
Chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right then, chaps. I think that's a day, isn't it?
Good night.